Good morning. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Blu-Roy Movies. Hope you're all doing well. It's time for the weekly watches, and yep, I know it's Saturday, but I'm working tomorrow, so you've got me a day early, you lucky lot. So you can either watch it today or put it on the back burner to tomorrow, which I know some of you like to do, you've told me. Apparently in some households I've become as traditional as roast chicken and all the trimmings on a Sunday, which is kind of worrying. This week I've watched 9 titles and some decent stuff, if I say so myself. So get yourself a cup of tea or something, grab a chocolate biscuit, and we'll talk about some films. I started the week with a DVD, The Tin Star, directed by Anthony Mann, that Carlos kindly sent me over in a package a couple of weeks ago, you might have seen. And what a good film this was, and what a great director Anthony Mann was. Filmography on that guy, Bend in the River, Man from Laramie, Winchester 73, Al Cid, the Glenn Miller story that I talked about a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, just goes on, and this was a first time watch for me, and another great film this is. Henry Fonda, Anthony Perkins. This is all about Henry Fonda's character. He's a bounty hunter, and he turns up in this small town to collect a bounty on an outlaw that is killed. And Anthony Perkins, he's this young, inexperienced sheriff in this town, and they sort of become friendly, and it becomes apparent to Henry Fonda that unless Perkins doesn't learn the job of a sheriff a bit more and become a bit more streetwise, it's not going to last very long. And it's all about Fonda's character taking Perkins under his wing and showing him the ways of sheriffdom. Sheriffdom, is that a word indeed? It should be now. And yeah, like a good buddy type western that I really enjoyed. It's good stuff. I think that Carlos upgraded to a Blu-ray. That's why he sent me the DVD. But yeah, really good one. And Anthony Mann, like I say, is just a list of films. He's great. Yeah, so thanks very much again, Carlos, for sending me that. I really enjoyed that. It's brilliant. Next up, Sunday night, Mrs. Blu-Roy and we watched 10 Rillington Place. This is a rewatch for me, and actually I think since I've been doing these weekly watches, which has been a little over a year now, this is the first one that's appeared twice. So yeah, this is a kind of a landmark moment for the Blu-Roy Movies channel. 10 Rillington Place, Richard Attenborough, Judy Geeson, John Hurt, and what a brilliant film this is. This is the true story of John Reginald Christie, who lived at the above address, and he had a liking for killing women and burying them in the back garden. Yeah, true story, and Attenborough's brilliant in this. Really creepy, really gets under your skin, and what a horrible character he was. John Hurt as well as one half of this couple with Judy Geeson that move into the upstairs flat, and spoiler, she becomes a victim as well, and it just boggles your mind that this actually happens. And yeah, I watched some of the special features on it as well, and this is a brilliant disc from Indicator. One that you should get in your collection next time there's a sale on. Yeah, Attenborough. Maybe I wouldn't say my favourite performance of his, but certainly it's got to be the most chilling. Yeah, like I say, really gets under your skin. That's 10 Rillington Place. One to definitely give a watch to. Next up, Richard Attenborough appears again, but this time in the directorial chair for Magic, starring Anthony Hopkins and who was the actress in it? Anne Margaret. And another great film and another really creepy performance from Hopkins. He was so good in this. This is about Hopkins' character. He's a ventriloquist who's risen to stardom in the world of ventriloquy from small gigs where nobody's listening to TV shows, and he's a big celebrity, but unfortunately the dummy has become part of his psyche, and he struggles to split the two, real life and what's the dummy, and it ends up in murder and all sorts, and yeah, really, really chilling stuff. A film that kept me invested all the way through. Again, if you haven't seen this one, see if you can grab a copy, because another good film. Let's say Hopkins, along with Attenborough in there, could be the two creepiest performances of the week for me. Yeah, really, really good stuff. Give that one a watch. Yeah, great film. Next up, directed by Takashi Yamazaki, Godzilla Minus One, which come out, was it last year or the year before? Anyway, one of the two. Now, I've had reservations about this for quite a while. If you remember, a few years ago, Shin Godzilla came out to much acclaim, much the same as this. And I didn't really get on with that film. For me, it was a bit over political and got bogged down in the political side of the film and left the Godzilla action on the back burner. So yeah, this is one that been on my radar, but wasn't in the hurry to watch. Though I've heard great things from friends and fellow YouTubers, and I saw it in CEX, and I had some vouchers, so I grabbed it and gave it a whirl. And wow, what a film this is! This is awesome. Just the right balance of the human element and the Godzilla element, and Godzilla's incredible in this. There's some brilliant set pieces in there, taking homage to the original Godzilla as well. Just a wild, wild ride, yeah, that I really recommend now to anybody. And grab it on 4K because it looked absolutely splendid as well. Yeah, I was a fool for holding off for a while on it because brilliant. And the Japanese, well, Shin Godzilla aside, leave the Kaijo movies to them, because this is much, much better than anything that Hollywood has churned out in recent years. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant stuff. One that I'll be watching over and over again, and I could actually feel myself watching it again pretty soon. I enjoyed it that much. Yeah, Godzilla Minus One. Grab Steel, beg a copy if you haven't got it, because it's brilliant. Next up, I delved into my recently bought Stallone collection to watch. The first one on it, Cobra. And yeah, I really like this film. Other than his big sort of Rocky and Rambo films, this may indeed be my favourite. Well, maybe Demolition Man above this. But yeah, it's certainly right up there. And Stallone's never been cooler in this, with his leather jacket and his sunglasses and his toothpick hanging out of his gob. Yeah, really good. And I must admit, a senior moment that it wasn't the film I thought I was going to be watching, because I know I've seen it before, but I was waiting for him to kill a crocodile or an alligator in it, and it never happened. And thinking about it, I think that might even be a Schwarzenegger film. So if you know what that is, let me know down below, because I was waiting for it to happen in the film, because I remember really enjoying it and it just didn't happen. Yeah, this is about Stallone. He's a no nonsense cop, where we heard that before, that will go any means necessary to clean up the streets. And this gang of satanic sort of cult type people, they're going around killing everybody, and the murder rates are climbing and climbing, and Stallone's got to clear it up. I love his car in this as well, and great action film this. Yeah, I really enjoy it. Yeah, brilliant stuff. And I had a bit of a senior moment in this also. There's, and you can tell that Stallone didn't direct it. I can't remember who directed it now, but he had a hand in writing it. He did the screenplay, and you can tell because there's one of them bloody god awful montages in there. You know that I love the Rocky films, but the, the montage films, they kind of blight them for me. And this, like, totally out of place for the film. had one of them montage scenes in that was bloody awful. And it played this 80s rock music on, and I was like, who is that? So now I listen to me films now on my headphones because I find it far easier to pick up the dialogue on it. And I got my phone out, like, to, you can, on Google, you can ask it to search and listen to the music and tell you what's happening, who sang it. So I tried that 3 times, and like Google kept saying that didn't recognise the music, and yeah, then it dawned on me because I had my bloody headphones on, and only I could hear it. God, what a prat! That's got his senior moment of the week, but that's between me and you. So yeah, don't go spreading that about because I felt a bit foolish, and then I just couldn't be bothered to disconnect the headphones. So I never did get to find out who sang the music of this terrible 80s montage. Yeah, that's Stallone Cobra, good ride of a time. Next up, one that Stuart kindly sent me over in my life package? My care package. Could do with the life package. My care package Stuart sent me over the other day was Lifeforce, because Stuart's upgraded this to 4K, and Arrow loves Stuart because he got it about 2 months early or something. Stuart says this is his favourite Toby Hooper movie. I haven't seen a great deal. I think TCM I've seen, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and a bloody awful one with an alligator at a hotel and the alligators killing all the guests or something. Yeah, that was a terrible film. So I think Lifeforce is maybe my third only Toby Hooper film. I might be wrong. I'll have to look through his filmography. But yeah, this is a good film. Great fun. I don't think I love it as much as Stuart does. But yeah, perfectly entertaining 90 minutes that pass by about these space aliens that get brought back to Earth, and they're sort of like space vampires and are going around killing everybody. And there's some really good practical effects on here where they're sucking the life out of their victims and they're all shriveling up. Yeah, I'll give it kudos for that. Yeah, wonderful effects it had on it. Yeah, decent 90 minutes. The girl on it, the main character, she wasn't shy at all, was she? She spent, I think, the first half of the film wandering around with no clothes on. Yeah, certainly wouldn't when the kids aren't around. This one, if I put it on next time, I should definitely make sure our Nathan's gone out. Yeah, good one. Yeah, thanks, Stuart, for that. Like I say, didn't love it as much as you, but pretty good. Yeah, that's Lifeforce, Toby Hooper. Next up, now I think I've got 18 Billy Wilder Blu-rays in my collection, and I've had 2 unwatched on my shelves for years. This one, Fedora, and the other one, The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes. And simply for the reason, and this is a stupid reason, is I couldn't bear not having any unwatched Billy Wilder to look forward to in my collection. I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's how my brain switched on sometime. But I finally bit the bullet and got round to watching Fedora, starring William Holden. And I think now I'm justified in having that mindset because this is a great film and a great first time discovery. And it's not classed as Wilder's pinnacle films, but I still had a really great time. It's sort of looked upon as a spiritual successor to Sunset Boulevard because it again teams up Wilder with Holden, albeit like 20, 30 years later, and explores the same sort of themes really of an aging actress who's long past her limelight and struggling after the attention's all gone away. And it starts our story with Fedora, played by an actress I was unfamiliar with, Martha Keller, who is also in Marathon Man apparently. So I must watch that now. I'll keep threatening to watch that. I must get it done. And it starts off with Fedora killing herself by throwing herself under a train. and then it goes back and it retraces the footsteps up to there and the events after that. And it's about William Holden's character. He's a film producer who worked with Fedora as an assistant director back in the early times of Hollywood, and is trying to get her out of retirement to film one last film. And I do love films about films as well. Uh, but then when he tracks Fedora down, she's leading this really reclusive life, this really extraordinary life, with this family and friends that treat her quite despicably. And it's learning how she's got into this position. And there's a twist in this, a brilliant twist that I didn't see coming, that really took me back. So, again, if you like your films with a twist, this one was right up there. Yeah, really enjoyed this Fedora. And again, it's been sat on the shelves. I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet now and watch the Sherlock Holmes one. And I think he directed 26 films, so I think I've got all the ones that I can that are available on Blu-ray. So I've got to track down now the ones I haven't got. Just bite the bullet on getting on DVD. The Charles Lindbergh film, that's a really difficult one to get. Spirit of St. Louis. I think I might have to import a Spanish DVD or something, but I do like. He's my favourite director. I do need to get the rest of his filmography. Yeah, Fedora, wonderful stuff. Next up, I watched Pierrepoint. Now, I've got Neil to thank from this, from Neil's Home Movies. I apologise if I got that wrong. When I watched 10 Rillington Place last time, I think he commented about this film, and also I've seen him talk about it before on his channel. And this is a good piece to go with 10 Rillington Place, because this is all about the life of Albert Pierrepoint, who was the hangman who hung Christie from 10 Rillington Place, and also another character from 10 Rillington Place. He hung him also, which is actually referenced in the film Pierrepoint. And yeah, what a great film this is. Can't believe, well, until Neil was talking about it, that I'd never heard about it. This is all about the life of, like I say, Albert Pierrepoint, who was Britain's most prolific hangman, who over a career of 20 odd years hung 608 people. And he's played by, and brilliantly by Timothy Spall. I know Sam's a big fan of Timothy Spall, so I'd urge him to watch this now, because for me, this is Timothy Spall's finest performance, along with Eddie Marson. Eddie Marson's in here as well, and he was brilliant in this as well. And just watching Spall portray this character, who, so, I mean, some people fall into different careers, or postman or delivery man, and he happened to fall into this career, and he was the best ever at it, and he prided himself as being the best ever. He could glance at a would-be customer, and just by a glance he'd know the exact length of the rope to kill them in the shortest time with the least amount of pain, which he took pride in, because although some of these people that he hung had done some heinous things, he still looked at them as people and wanted them to go out as painlessly and easily as they could do, which spoke volumes for this guy's character. He also went on, after the war, he went to Germany, and after the war trials, the war criminal trials, he hung a lot of the Nazis, and yeah, that was fascinating as well. Yeah, really, really enjoyed it. And there's a bit in this where I think Neil will know where I'm getting at. He hangs somebody he knew, and I thought that must have been made up. I thought that must be embellished for the film, because that couldn't possibly happen. But looking into it afterwards, it did. Yeah, it really, really surprised me. It took me back. I don't know how much they played it up for the film, like how deep their friendship was in real life. Whether they again embellished it for the film, but I just thought that was fascinating. Yeah, Pierrepoint. Give that a watch. As soon as I watched 10 Rillington Place again, and it's grown and grown. 10 Rillington Place in my favourites list. I just knew I had to then rectify that by grabbing Pierrepoint and giving it a watch, and it come a couple of days later, so I watched it straight away. Yeah, thanks again, Neil, for putting that on my radar. Brilliant film. Last up on the list, The Thing. Now, I watched Ollie's live stream last week. I didn't appear last week, but I gave it a watch, and I think it's Carlos asked the question, Alien or The Thing, what's your favourite? And the 4 people on the panel all picked The Thing, which surprised me a little. For me, it's Alien all day long. Alien possibly my top 5 favourite films, so it surprised me that across the board The Thing was picked as the favourite. So I gave it a rewatch just to think, just to wonder if it would change my mind, and I'm still in the same mindset. Well, admittedly, this is a brilliant Carpenter film and not my favourite Carpenter film. I think that's possibly The Fog or Assault on Precinct. It could be them too. But this is still a brilliant film. Great look at paranoia and brilliant practical effects. But it's a great film. Not a seminal film for me. I still can't put this above Alien. Alien all day long for me. But what are your thoughts on that? Let me know down below, Alien or The Thing. Yeah, so that was The Thing. Good watch. Don't get me wrong. So that was it for the week. Yeah, 9 things. Some decent stuff, ranging from good to brilliant. Nothing I didn't dislike this week. So yeah, all good. Give me a thumbs up if you've liked what I've done here today. Maybe think about subscribing if you want to hear more of this twaddle. We'll be back. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we'll be back Sunday next week. Working Saturday next weekend. So yeah, I'll be back Sunday. So you all take care. Keep watching movies, and most importantly, keep talking about movies, and I'll catch you all later. Goodbye.